Howdy all, the Wonder from Down Under Accelerator here, bringing you episode 1 of Out in Force. LCPDFR's mod for GTA 4. Today's episode is going to be based on enforcing traffic management in the City of Liberty. As you can see, I'm currently using a Ford Crown Victoria marked police car, police interceptor I should say. And the vehicle is brought to you by Roleplay Code 3 modifications. Roleplay Code 3 is a group I am currently a part of, at the time of this video at least, I hope, who currently, as the title states, roleplay the use of police and the police force online for the PC community. So to give you a bit of a background on myself, I am definitely an emergency service enthusiast. I have 10 years or more experience in my state's fire department, fire brigade as it's referred to here in Victoria of Australia. However, my future plans are to definitely be a part of the traffic management unit of Victoria Police. So until then, I'm just going to get used to a bit of role-playing online, playing with communities all over the world. And so far, I've come across Roleplay Code 3 with the group manager of someone you would have heard of on YouTube in these video series, I would assume, Start Airsoft 780. Who's welcomed me quite generously to the group and given me some good opportunities. So it's now my opportunity to put my experience into the gaming and video world of YouTube here for, as I said, my first ever series, Out in Force. So the first stop I just had then was a sports vehicle who was seen speeding through an amber light. I simply issued him a warning. Unfortunately, I didn't capture him on radar. However, the call I'm going to at the moment, it's an unknown incident. A police vehicle was also seen in the tunnel going out with lights and sirens, so I decided to try and find out what was happening. And unfortunately, the situation didn't proceed into anything further. What you can see, however, is a police vehicle going the wrong way up a one-way street. Pity I can't get him. So to give you a bit of background on the mods I'll be using, or what you can see in the video here, it's the LCPDFR mod, of course, 0.95 RC2. You will find the link in the description. Some of the other mods I'm using for the game are the Traffic Flow version 5 R2. I'm also using ELS version 5 as I decide to pull over here a silver four-wheel drive who run a red light. So we'll do a bit of a check on the driver and find out what happened. The siren I'm using, which you also see me do a quick test off as I took the vehicle out of the precinct, is a Federal Touchmaster Delta. I'll try and provide you the link in the description there for that one as well. Further to those modifications I've mentioned there, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm also using some files that are provided by Roleplay Code 3 to do with some uniforms and the skins of vehicles, as you can see. They do have some pretty good skins and they're consistently working on them and trying to make them better and better, but also to try and spice it up a little bit and give you guys something a little bit different to see and understand. So the vehicle check and the driver check came back okay, and I issue this driver here with a $40 fine for running a red light. A few specs of the computer I'm using. It's a very new computer. It's literally about 3 weeks old at the time of this video. I'm using an AMD FX 8150 3.6 GHz 8-core CPU. I also have on board Corsair 16GB of RAM and a NVIDIA GTX 550 Ti 1 gig graphics card. In terms of the peripherals I'm using, I've got an Xbox controller, to which I also utilise the software Xpadder to, I suppose, emulate the controls. A bit more customised setup for the controller. Plus I'm also using Logitech gaming equipment for a keyboard and mouse. So, just a little bit further, as I said earlier, with my interest in emergency service and specifically the Victorian Police Traffic Management Unit, which is where my interest lies. Today's episode, and the first episode as I mentioned, is definitely going to be based on traffic enforcement. Something I take to heart. Unfortunately, I've had some friends and family involved in vehicle accidents in real life. Definitely not a good thing to get a phone call about. Go out and see an incident, and with my 10 years of experience in the fire brigade, certainly not some good scenes to come upon and understand what's going on. So my interest definitely lies within trying to prevent that. I will be utilising some more mods in the future videos, future episodes of Out in Force. I am using some at the moment after this video has been uploaded, which I will attempt to show you in episode 2. But again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm definitely open for all feedback, preferably positive feedback. However, you will never learn from mistakes, and you'll never develop any further if you don't receive a little bit of criticism as well. Due to the rain, that pedestrian with an umbrella, I did allow him to continue going there, even though he was walking against a red light. But what the hell, I didn't want to get wet. However, I've come across what seems to be an unroadworthy vehicle passing me there, so I've done a quick U-turn to try and find out what the situation is with the vehicle. It's currently stopped for the green light, allowing some traffic to flow through. And look out, he continues on through again. So I decide to pull him over and find out what the situation is. As a part of Roleplay Code 3's online game use, we also utilise 10 codes, as they're known in the United States. We don't use 10 codes as such in Australia, but a few people tend to have some general understanding of it. So I would like to thank Roleplay Code 3 for their support in understanding that, being that it's a new thing to myself and probably most Australians, their support's definitely overwhelming with learning and developing the 10 codes. Now, unfortunately, as you probably were able to see there, my database in LCPDFR is not currently connecting to the LCPDFR crime stats database. I believe it's currently down for some major maintenance. They've found some opportunities to improve that, so it's not my normal login, and none of these are going to be studying to the server. As the driver pulls off there, now I was simply going to issue that driver with an infringement for driving an unroadworthy vehicle. Background checks came back clear. However, when I approached the vehicle has taken off. Now I do try to utilise what's referred to as intersection clearing, which is the use of the sirens going through red lights, ensuring there's going to be no vehicles collide with me. Also back there at the traffic stop, I did make a very rookie mistake, and I pushed the wrong button. I pushed the jump button instead of trying to pull the driver out of the vehicle, hence why we're now in pursuit. At this point, I haven't as yet called for backup, as a huge cloud of smoke comes from the driver's exhaust. As backup tends to be available just around the corner most times, so I decided to wait for that. I'm feeling that I can handle this at this present time. The vehicle TCs has a minor incident there with a four-wheel drive and another vehicle. So as I quickly jump out here and grab the driver, almost get run over by another car, and backup arrives. Have the subject at gunpoint and take her into custody.
No jodas conmigo.
Now at this point I do decide to request the prisoner to be transported, which is the interceptor. Pull it up there.
You're coming with me. Show me somebody.
At this point I now decide that we're going to need to get this vehicle off the road, so I wait for the prisoner to be taken into custody into the other vehicle to be transported. I jump in here and you'll hear I struggle very hard to get this vehicle started.
Get out of the way.
Finally get it started. Huge cloud of smoke from the exhaust. Take it off the road and open it up to the public again. As a lovely bus driver decides to push my vehicle out of the way. Thank you, Mr. Bus Driver. And unfortunately a minor bug there with the modification. The original arresting officers that, transporting officers that showed up have left their vehicle behind. So we're just continuing nice and socially down the highway here. Always try to stop for red lights here in the game, just to prove a point that enforcing the traffic laws are certainly a vital part of everyday life. Even though it's a game, as I said, I definitely like to try and roleplay as best I can. Now I'll make a total of 6 stops in this video. So far you have seen 3 of them. The first one being the driver speeding through an amber light. The second stop being a driver running a red light. And the third being an unroadworthy vehicle, as we just see a 4-wheel drive decide to run a red. So we clear the intersection there, catch up to him, pull him over, find out what the deal is. So we'll go up, we'll ask the driver for some identification, see if we can get a decent reason I should say, to find out why they decided to run a red.
Thank you very much.
Put theirs and the public's life at risk. And nearly get run over by a fellow officer. We'll go in, we'll do our background checks with my database that unfortunately isn't working currently, in terms of keeping record of my crime stats. Driver comes back all clear, not currently wanted. Jump out and nearly get run over by an unroadworthy vehicle. So my intention here is to quickly get back to this driver, issue him with a warning and take off after what I personally feel to be more important, an unroadworthy vehicle, which has the potential to put some lives at serious risk. Clear the intersection here as a fire truck comes along, and I would imagine probably runs over those pedestrians. Again, try to be very careful, make sure the intersections are clear before I take off. Try and catch up with this unroadworthy vehicle. As we have a minor collision here with the vehicle. Another rookie mistake, unfortunately I didn't clear that intersection. Again, as I said, certainly opportunities for improvement there, but we do catch up with the unroadworthy vehicle, which is certainly in my best interest. Now the taxi decides, hey, I want to be a part of this, so I decide, alright, well let's just make the road a little bit safer, get out of the way of the oncoming traffic, and we'll initiate our stop. Extremely rusty vehicle, license plate hanging off. Fairly nice driver, but however,
Oh,
she
sure.
should know better.
Great, thanks.
So let's go back and do our background checks on this driver.
Excuse me, please.
All seems to be clear with the driver. However, I definitely feel that it's not a safe practice to be driving an unroadworthy vehicle. So we're going to issue this driver with a $60 infringement. I would like you to go and get that vehicle looked at and definitely repaired, man. Take your fine, be on your merry way, stay safe. So let's continue patrolling here, find out what else is out and about that I can enforce. So we hear a siren there to find, just decide to look and see what's going on as we see a vehicle here, or a suspicious vehicle with hazard lights on as they go through an intersection. So I decide to pull them over and let's just find out what's going on. As they decide to park their vehicle nice and close to a concrete pillar. Let's find out what's going on here. But yes, I definitely enjoy modification for GTA 5. Oh, sorry, 4 I should say. GTA IV. Roman numerals. I think GTA 5 is just wishful thinking at this stage. Hopefully some improvements should they bring out of 5. Vehicle's back, the driver's background comes back all clear, so we'll issue this driver with a warning this time and have him on the merry way. Don't be utilising your hazard indicators as you're going through an intersection. So we'll head back to our vehicle and continue our patrol. But a very nice vehicle, the Ford Crown Victoria. It's not a vehicle available or seen in Australia, or at least in my state of Victoria. Even though the vehicle is called a Crown Victoria. Haha, that's quite funny. But definitely a skin, I must say. It's a nice skin. I can't provide 100% assurance that it was created by the group roleplay code 3, but it is a skin and vehicle that we utilise nonetheless. So whoever the creators are, big thanks to you and credit goes out to you. It's a very nice vehicle. Nice light bar. I will do my best to show different vehicles in each episode as we come up to an interesting situation here of a vehicle and a taxi. Police vehicle and taxi, I should say. And I think to myself, look, I might just follow the green four-wheel drive for a bit, find out what's going on there, as they pretty much ran a red. They would actually decide to continue through an amber. As we look on into the distance, we see a vehicle decide to do an illegal U-turn. So let's catch up with the vehicle and find out what's going on. So we attempt to initiate a traffic stop here, and the vehicle decides to take off. So at this point we initiate a vehicle pursuit. Do our best to ensure the intersections are clear before we proceed through. As we find a abandoned police vehicle and traffic management vehicle. The driver decides, hey, you know what, let's take out a few lights on our way. As you can see, I'm not an aggressive driver in game. I do my best to keep the distance and stay in a safe environment, or keep a safe environment, I should say, for fellow road users. Which is more than I can say for this driver as he collides with a taxi, runs another intersection. After I would refer to as light to medium traffic. Still traffic nonetheless. We'll find yet another atmosphere at the end of the tunnel. I would have thought. Hoped it was a person trying to attempt a roadblock for me, but nonetheless they did not. So as we continue here, clearing our intersections. Police vehicle overhead, we decides to try and pursuit. At this point, I do feel that the pursuit is becoming fairly dangerous. As we clear another intersection, I decide to request for some additional support, calling GTA 4's Moose unit as he collides with a bus and a taxi. As I collide with a taxi and a bus, I apologise for that. At this point, we have the traffic management unit take primary. Residential area.
Park your vehicle and turn the engine off.
Unsuccessful stop at that point. However, the secondary unit come up very soon. So, an aggressive officer. Which we'll see in a few moments. There it comes. That's me. Now, at this point, I did not hear a third bunch of sirens, which was an ambulance. Apologise to the driver of the ambulance there. The third unit takes primary here as we continue trying to clear the intersections. However, this bus decides he wants to continue even on trying to clear. At this point, we decide to attempt a rolling roadblock. So we overtake the vehicle here, jump in front, slowly brake. Here is where we initiate the takedown maneuvers. Pull our Glock here, and they decide to pull a weapon on me. Take fire. Pedestrians down. And we decide we'd better get some paramedics in here.
Don't
Yeah, I'd be
annoy
getting
me.
out of there as well, mate. Clear the weapon away from the subject as we call in paramedics.
An officer in need of assistance in Leftwood.
At this point, what I'm attempting to do is actually arrest the subject. However, unfortunately, it's not complying, which they decide to faint. And here comes the paramedics hitting my cruiser.
Let me get to work.
Driver attempts to get up again, but unfortunately doesn't succeed. So at this point,
I'll have
folks,
you
this is
better
where
in
I'm
no
going
time.
to end episode 1 of Out in Force.
Come on.
After 6 stops and a couple of pursuits.
Stay with me. Stay with
Bit
me.
of fun and entertaining time, I would hope.
It's gonna be all right.
So we'll end it here, guys. Episode 1 of Out in Force, powered by Accelerated Gaming. We'll find some links and descriptions and comments
It's gonna
below.
be okay.
Again, I'm certainly open
got you
to
covered.
any feedback and suggestions,
Nothing. Come on.
and look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, say hi to your mum for me.
Don't you fucking die.
This is the Wonder from Down Under Accelerator, signing off. Thanks, guys.